Everybody, welcome to Dad Talk today. We are in Rapid City, South Dakota, live from Freedom Fest 2021, and I am here with California Gubernatorial Candidate for the Libertarian Party, Mr. Jeff Hewitt. Jeff, how you doing?
Great, Eric, and it's a pleasure to come on here, and I'm just having a really good time here at Freedom Fest. There's a lot of free thinkers, a whole lot of things to learn even here, and I'm trying to get my name out there. There's some California people, and I want to get them considering me to check my name on September 14th.
There you go, man. Tell us why you want to run for governor in California.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a very, very full plate with just the job I have as a county supervisor for one of the largest counties in the United States, Riverside County. And I'll tell you what, the last straw was earlier this year, near the first year when we finally got our vaccines. And there were so many elderly people in Riverside County that wanted to get those vaccines. And, you know, the supply was so much less than the demand. So after about 3 months, I asked my public health director, I said, hey, are we getting our fair share? I just want to make sure. I mean, I can't imagine somebody would.
Good morning,
and it turned out that
we
were getting 80% less per capita than these other counties around us, except for San Bernardino County was getting like us. And I said, that's crazy. How can they do that? This is a real simple formula. And it turned out the state was making some excuse like, well, there's more, healthcare workers in this county. That has nothing to do with it. Healthcare workers were not dying at any higher rate than anybody else because most of them are younger.
Right.
And so at that point, I realized that he was killing people in my county by, especially the elderly. I mean, this disease affected them, the vast majority, above 65. And I said, this guy's got to be in jail. He's using his bias against our two counties because of what I had done and my sheriff, and using it arbitrarily. He doesn't need to be in a position of any power, let alone government.
Well, Jeff, a lot of what we talk about on this show is like the fatherless issue and what's going on inside the family courts. There's so many government incentives that are giving to get dads out of the home, to break up that nuclear family, and I believe we should have never had government inside of our marriages and our parenting in the first place. I'm just curious, what are some of your thoughts on the government's control that they've had over families?
Well, the way the government is going right now, especially in a progressive state like California, is they're trying to dissolve that nuclear family completely and make the state. We hear the nanny state. They really want the state to be the nanny and take care of everything. I mean, they brag about cradle to grave services. No, the nuclear family is the very essence of why we've been so successful in this nation.
That's right.
You know, those values that we pass on to our children. You know, having a father in the home. I believe that one of my competitors says that very well. He points out that when you got two-parent households, the outcomes are generally so much better. Look at fathers have had a tough time. They're getting equal rights more and more now. However, the courts sometimes are just so, they go off these formulas. They stick people over here, stick people over there, and then your pain and your, it makes everything worse.
Right.
And I think that the first thing we have to do is we have to go to choice in education, because right now people are being brainwashed by the educational industrial complex, public schools.
Yep.
And if we can get that, like what I'm proposing is an educational savings account, which gives each parent, $12,400 per student in California. That's what California is spending right now per student.
Right.
And then you put that in an account. It could only be used on education. If you want to go ahead and homeschool your kids, then you bank that up, and now you're going to have money later on for a trade school or a university or something like that. But you'll see so many parochial schools, so many charter schools. You'll see all these other alternates where parents can choose what's best for their children. And a lot of these more economically depressed neighborhoods, right now they have horrible public schools where all the terrible teachers are thrown there. There's no chance for them to really come out much. And they'll be able to choose and go to some good schools because they've got like a voucher, with that, you'll have that money. They can spend it the way they want on the education. And that changes things. That gets back to those core values. there's a lot of parochial, a lot of Christian and Catholic schools, that teach a lot of those things that are important.
Yeah.
And with the degradation of and I'm not saying, look, you can't have. There are some phenomenal families that have one parent.
Right.
But we've become now. I believe the divorce rate is over 50% in a lot of areas.
So that's the interesting thing, and over the last year I was quoting that statistic. The divorce rate is at the lowest it's ever been. It's around 40%, and we had some people that was cheering. They was like, "Yeah, we got the divorce rate low." Well, it's according to how you look at it. Marriage is also at an all-time low. The amount of relationships that are still splitting up is at an all-time high. They're not getting married anymore.
Yeah, and if you have a child, and you're going to basically raise this child together, you commit to raise that child together, that's a commitment that government should have very little or nothing to do with.
Absolutely.
That commitment is between two people that formed a new individual, and through love, discipline, and understanding, you have a real good chance of coming out with great people like you.
That's right. Jeff, I want to pick your head about something while we got you
Sure.
over here. I get painted in the conservative circle a lot because I get invited to a lot of those events, and I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to the liberals. I'll talk to because this is a bipartisan issue. If we don't have strong families, we don't have a strong nation. The Libertarian Party a lot of times gets completely overlooked, and they look at these two parties. These issues, getting the government out of our marriages, really aligns with what the Libertarian Party stands for. I'm just curious if you could just talk to some of the audience about the importance of making sure, like, if we got candidates like you that want to stick up for these issues, you got to get out there and vote. That's where we hurt them the most.
Yeah, that's okay. So the Libertarian Party, a lot of our main thrust is the fact that we know what to do better with our lives than government does. And government is just basically other people that are bureaucrats that are paid a decent salary or more than a decent salary and benefits and such, and they don't have any real competition. When you get rid of competition, that's human nature, not to kind of go to the lowest common denominator. And that's what we're seeing in a lot of areas. The Libertarian Party wants you, the individual and the individual family, to decide how you're going to raise your children, how you're going to go about having your business and stuff like that, as long as you're not hurting other people. Remember that. In California, we have a real unique situation. The Democrats have taken in most of the Hispanic or Latino immigrants because the Republicans back in Prop 187 said we don't like brown people, and so they pushed them over to the liberals. Their values are strong nuclear family values. The family is everything in the Latino culture. And that's why myself, when I speak fluent Spanish to a lot of these farm worker communities and a whole lot of other ones, we have a high predominance of Mexican and Central American immigrants. It resonates with them. The Democratic Party is trying to destroy that. And we want to make sure that stays strong, that cultural affiliation stays strong, and that's what a real free country has.
Jeff, I love it, man. Tell everybody where they can support you on this campaign.
You can reach us at Hewitt, HEWITT, the number 4, CA.com. Hewitt4ca.com. That's our website. You can go on there. You can volunteer to help in the campaign in several ways. You can donate there. Everything. This is going to take a lot of gas, but I'll tell you what. I've got everything that you need to be the governor today or tomorrow. I'm in a highly elected office. I've done more to fight this governor than anybody over the last year. I've done more maybe than anybody in the United States against governors that have been so repressive. So take a look at us, and I hope you get out there on September 14th if you're in California, and I hope you choose me, and let's get this guy out.
Love it. Jeff, so good to meet you, brother.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Eric Carroll here. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Dad Talk Today. While we fight for you, we would ask for you to please help fight for us. Like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so you get notifications every time we go live. There's also super chats, patreon.com/dadtalktoday, and other ways you can support our channel. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next time.